بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وفرقانه الحميد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وأطيعوا الله ورسوله ولا تنازعوا فتفشلوا وتذهب ريحكم واصبروا إن الله مع الصابرين. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في حديث رواه الإمام البخاري ومسلم: من كره من أميره شيئا فليصبر فإنه من خرج من السلطان شبرا مات ميتة جاهلية، أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. أما بعد. Honorable and respected brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, a ayah which most of us know and we have heard it previously. Allah Ta'ala has mentioned that He has created insan in different denominations, male and female, sizes and shapes, color and languages, etc., etc. Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum. And the address is not only for the Muslims, for the believers, for mankind in general. من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا. O mankind, we have created you from one male and female. Min dhakari wa untha. And from there onwards, Allah Ta'ala said, we spread you out. Different tribes, different races, ethnicities, etc. And then Allah says, why? لِتَعَارَفُوا. So that you may be able to recognize with one another. And this is the important part of this verse, is that we find a commonality between people. It's not لِتَنَاكَرُوا, that we choose to oppose and we choose to fight with each other. Our differences should be there so that we can find common grounds with one another. And in the process, we will always have a tug of war. Who's better than the other, who's right and who's wrong. This is the fitrat of insan. This is who we are made up as. So everyone believes and everyone thinks that we are on haqq. I am on the right. His madhab is wrong, her madhab is wrong. She is wrong, he is right. This one, everyone thinks that the next person is wrong and I'm right. That is our short-sightedness. Our short-sightedness. Then Allah Ta'ala gives us, O insan, you are not responsible to be that judge. I have not put you in that place to be the judge. I am the judge. You are there in this dunya to find common grounds. لِتَعَارَفُوا. And you are not there to put the next person down or the next group down. I will be the one who will judge who's right from who's wrong. إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. And this is a common theme of the teachings of the deen, is that you carry on in your path, continue in your path and practice and do what we have to do, and we'll meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then Allah ta'ala mentioned to the disbelievers, and we adopt, وَلِكُلِّ وِجْهَةٌ هُوَ مُوَلِّيهَا فَاسْتَبِقُوا الْخَيْرَاتِ. Everyone has their viewpoint and wijhatun nazar, and carry on. As long as we're doing good, move on. Allah says to the disbelievers, you claiming, you making your claim, I've given you the evidences, okay, fine. You continue, we will continue, and you'll meet us in the akhirah, and then we'll sift out the right from the wrong. إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. We are not there to be the judge over one another. Allah Ta'ala is the one to be the judge. The most honored amongst you from all of mankind is the one who has the most amount of taqwa. And who knows who has the most amount of taqwa? Only Allah Ta'ala knows that. I can't say I have more, and you can't say you have more. And there will be many a subject who will be higher in taqwa than the one who's leading them. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala grant us. At the end of the day, we are all heading to the same direction, and we need to get there together. We might take different paths along the way, which is totally normal. But as long as we're heading in the GPS is set for the same direction, one will take a longer route, one will take a scenic route, or a shorter route and a scenic route, one will take a detour, one will make multiple stops on the way, as long as we get to the destination. Manzil maqsood. In the dunya, we are living 1400 years away from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Hudayfa radiallahu anhu says, this hadith, beautiful hadith, and something that gives us a lot of direction. See, this talk of mine has come after a long time and wasn't very easy for me to reach this point. So, Sayyidina Hudayfa radiallahu anhu says that hadith of Muslim Sharif, he said people used to come to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and used to ask him about khair, goodness. Everyone's asking like, But he said, I used to come and I used to ask him about the bad times, the bad things that are going to come. Why? So that I don't make a mistake of falling in the traps when the evil comes, and I can save myself. I have the necessary tools to make sure I'm protected. Hudayfa radiallahu anhu is a visionary, and he is the confidant of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam would share the secrets with Hudayfa, and he was the secret keeper of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he said, I would ask those matters of shar, so that I know I don't make those mistakes and fall in those traps. So then I said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, he said, listen, we were in Jahiliyyah, and Allah Ta'ala brought this khair to us. And so will there be a time of shar, evil after this khair? He said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, yes. So then he said, Ya Rasulullah, what about after that evil? What about after that bad era or period? So Rasulullah, will there be khair after that again? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, yes. After the bad period, bad time, there will be khair again. But in that khair, now there's a small caveat there. In that khair, it's not the khair as it was in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because the door of wahi is still open. So we know who's right from wrong. We know clear cut. But now the khair that is going to come, fihi dakhan. There is ghubar, there is smoke in it. So there is goodness, but it will be smoky. And we won't know exactly who's doing what. And people are confused. Dakhan. So then he goes on and he engages with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Please elaborate on this dakhan, etc. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, ta'rifu wa tunkir. He said there'll be so many matters you'll see. You can identify with this looks to be right. And some things are tunkir, like, this is completely wrong what you're doing. It's like haram, or it may be teetering on the borders of kufr and shirk and nifaq and astaghfirullah al-azim. Ta'rif wa tunkir, that which seems to be legit and that which seems to be illegit. What must we do, Ya Rasulullah? Allahu Akbar. See, we live in a democratic society, and democracy is flawed from the conceptual stages. It's a flawed system, because it had given insan a false sense of authority. An authority a certain level of authority which is contradictory to Islam. Democracy makes you feel like you're in charge, but you're not in charge of anything. He says, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said to him, and this is important, Tilzamu jama'at al-muslimina wa imamahum. Stick to the jama'at of the Muslimin and their leaders. You'll be in khair all the time, inshallah. The key is that during this period, and we are way into the dakhan, and this ghubar and this smoke is getting bigger and bigger. As we get closer to Qiyamah, the smoke is going to get bigger and bigger. And as we draw to the real Dukhan and the real Dajjal, that is not proper now Dukhan, that's proper smoke. You don't know anything. Then he said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Takunu ba'di athara. He said, after me there will be periods of athara. If athara means from ithar means favoritism, where people who are not do not have the competence for a position are put into position. تكون بعد أثرة وأمور تنكرونها. Authentic hadith of Muslim. And many matters, many things you will see that you do not identify with, that you cannot accept is wrong, or at least I think it's wrong. And that's very important. Keep that well. I think it's wrong. Why? Because the door of wahi is sealed. So nobody can say, I am on haqq and you are on batil. Or you are on haqq, I am on batil. Only Allah Ta'ala is the judge. When Rasulullah was alive, the door of wahi is open, we know haqq from batil. Unless something is kufran bawaha, something is openly kufr, something is openly shirk, something is openly contradictory of the fundamentals of the deen, then we can label that as kufr or shirk. Umurun tunkirunha, matters that you cannot identify with. What must we do, Ya Rasulullah? What must we do? Nabi Sallallahu gave a beautiful answer. He said, تُؤَدُّونَ الْحَقَّ الَّذِي عَلَيْكُمْ وَتَسْأَلُونَ اللَّهَ الَّذِي لَكُمْ. Subhanallah. He said, you discharge the responsibilities that are upon you, and you ask Allah for the rights that belong to you. Allahu Akbar. The Western world turns it around. You fight for your rights, forget your responsibilities. Forget your responsibilities. You see, the importance of jama'ah is so important. The importance of unity is so critical for the smooth functionality and the progress of an ummah. We talked of last week or the week before when we started the series of Imamun Adil. And we hope to be an Imam Adil, a just leader. This refers to these hadith talks about the leadership. You will see matters in your leadership that you cannot identify with, that you will openly reject, and there will be merit in rejecting that. But what should we do? And Rasulullah is teaching us here. Recently, as you know, and which is a hot topic, the Harmony Accord that has taken place. Now there is views and there are views, and don't read too much into what I'm saying. Don't think, my view was very categorical from the starting. We have opposed it, our organization has opposed it, and everyone knows that. But the point I want to make mention is what should be our reaction, our behavior around the situation, not the accord itself. We understand and we have accepted collectively, in every situation, in every organization, there is leadership. But for the Muslimin, we don't have a collective voice because we're living in a democratic land. But we have gone on to accept that Fianz is operating within our leadership. Whether we are an affiliate body or not an affiliate body. They are operating in a space that represents the Muslimin, appointed or not appointed. And they are doing work in that space that none of us are able to do in that space. So when it comes to the collective representation of the Ummah in New Zealand, we have afforded them that opportunity. Whether we openly agree or not. And there's no clear-cut book that says, okay, this is your representative for the Muslims, because it's a democratic land. There can be 10 other organizations. But now if we have put them in that position, then what should be our behavior to that position? And this is what I want to discuss. We have opposed the accord, we have been against it, we have raised our objections. Our organization, which is the NZMA, also was very clear on it. Rasulullah said, "Man kariha min amirihi shay'an." The importance of ita'at and obedience of your amir is so important in this deen that we have lost and we have forgotten the importance of this. You dislike something of your amir, falyasbir, make sabr. Make sabr. Why? Because that person who exits the ita'at of his amir or his sultan, one handspan, mata mitatan jahiliyyah. Now some might say that yes, but they are not our sultan. Of course they're not our sultan. They are not our amirul mu'mineen. But we have given that we have afforded them that space of leadership for the Muslims in this country in political matters. Because none of us are operating in that space. Someone is in welfare, others are in community, some are in masjid, some are in domestic violence. Everyone has their ambits of work, their scope of work and their fields of work. Keep within the lane. And you will see, remember, umurun tunkirunaha. Fianz is saying it's right, we are saying it's wrong. This views and views. The importance of jama'ah, what has happened to us now, in the last 2 weeks, over the course of the last 2 years, the world is screaming loud to the leaders, the America, the UK, New Zealand, all these places, condemn Israel. This is a genocide. Stop the fighting. Stop the butchering. Call for a ceasefire. But they have failed to do that. Why? Because just in Urdu they say, "Wo apne hai." This is their own brother doing it. So they are not going to tell the world, my brother is doing wrong. Now because it's going too far, and so one or two are making the noise, okay, let's join the treaty. Now let's join the call for a ceasefire. After 22 months. And that also they put there, the Hamas has to disarm and this and that. There must be no resistance. You just give up your arms and sit back and please kill me like this. This is what they are saying. It took them 2 years and it's still not fully. They continuously vetoed at the UN, continuously. So they maintained, we talked about this ummah, the concept of the ummah. They maintained themselves as one ummah, and they did not show to the world their differences, except here and there. But what have we done is, by way of this accord and our subsequent reaction, we have exposed to the country that internally we are fragmented and we have no singular voice. وَلَا تَنَازَعُوا فَتَفْشَلُوا وَتَذْهَبَ رِيحُكُمْ. We may disagree, we may believe strongly, we have the right to hold them to account, but that should be done within closed doors. Not show the outside world that I will shoot on my own brother within the space of 2 or 1 week. So this is what وَلَا تَنَازَعُوا فَتَفْشَلُوا. So now your shawka, your thorn, your strength is gone. Have we, in this course of 2 weeks, have we seen any public lambasting of their internal groups to each other? We have not. But we have seen in the public, again, I'm not saying within community absolutely. Within the public space, in the news space, we have not seen that. But we have done that. So we have exposed our laundry in the public. Again, don't read into it, now the Shaykh, because now I see that tomorrow is in a meeting at Newland, and Newland would have probably received so much of feedback that they had to put a statement out that, listen, we don't agree with it, but we're just hosting it. Subhanallah. They were reduced to that point, that they don't agree with it, but they are hosting it in the effort of brotherhood. The Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, your leadership will come above you to a point that they will delay their salah. They will delay their salah to a point that the salah will become qada. He said, Ya Rasulullah, what must we do? He said, you read your salah so that it doesn't become qada. But as soon as they establish the salah in jama'ah, go and join the jama'ah. Even if you read your salah already, go back and join it. The concept of jama'ah is lost in this ummah. We lost the concept of jama'ah. He says, صَلُّوا خَلْفَ كُلِّ بَرٍّ وَفَاجِرٍ. Perform your salah behind any sinful and any pious man. Why? Because you don't want to break the jama'ah. He has his sins. He may be doing whatever wrongs he has to doing. As long as it's not kufr, he's leading you, go and hold on to the jama'ah. Don't break this jama'ah. تلزموا جماعة المسلمين وإمامهم. Subhanallah. Hadith of Bukhari Sharif. The importance of this here. Sahal ibn Hunayf radiallahu anhu, after the battle of Siffin, which is the internal civil strife between Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu's camp and Muawiyah's camp. So after this year, people came to Sahal ibn Hunayf, who was a Sahabi, senior Sahabi, and they criticized him for his non-participation. He was not participating too much. Why? Because they are fighting each other. Many Sahaba pulled out and they said, we're not going to pick up arms against our own brothers. So he said to them, listen, hold on, ittahimur ra'i. You guys should criticize your viewpoint. Why? He said, if there was an occasion for us, he said, I can vividly recall the time when, on the occasion of Hudaybiyah and the story of Abu Jandal radiallahu anhu, we had just finished the signing, and Abu Jandal radiallahu anhu came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I had to turn you back. He turned Abu Jandal back to the kuffar. He says, Sahaba said, if there was any moment that we wanted to, or we could have rejected the command of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, would have been at that specific time. It was so hard on us. It was so difficult upon us. And he said, whenever we took up the swords for battlefield, it always opened the road to something which is better. And here you guys are fighting amongst yourself with battlefield and with swords, and it's not going to make the matter better after that. So he said, ittahimur ra'i. Looking after the jama'ah, looking out for one another. having good thoughts for one another. Subhanallah. Our time is already out. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there's lots to be discussed. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Again, what we said, after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Khulafa al-Rashideen. After the Khulafa al-Rashideen, the leadership that will be above us, no one will ever be able to claim to claim purity or to claim that they are 100%, because now no one is operating under the laws of wahi. Wahi is the doors of wahi are closed. So there will be umurun tunkirunaha, things you cannot identify with, things you cannot and will not agree with. It's right, it's wrong, it's right, it's wrong, it's right, it's wrong. What should we do? Perform your salah, carry on. Carry on, perform your salah. Ad-deenu an-nasiha. Rasulullah said, deen is about nasiha. So they said, for whom nasiha, ya Rasulullah? Nasiha means advice, but advice which is sincere. Ikhlas. Nasiha means ikhlas. Nush means al-ikhlas. Al-asal al-nasih, for Arab brothers. Al-asal al-nasih, pure ikhlas. He said, لله ولكتابه ولرسوله ولأئمة المسلمين وعامتهم, أو كما قال. To be nasiha for and sincere for Allah, His kitab, His Rasul, for the leaders of the believers, and for the common folk. So we're not going to go into this. We don't have the time, and that's not the merits and demerits of the accord. That's not even in discussion. Not even going there. I'm just looking at it broadly speaking. Few things, inshallah, will end off. Number one, everyone has their perspective. There are those who agree, there are those who don't agree. Fian says yes, it's the right thing to do. Others are saying it's not the right thing to do. There may be a bigger collective voice who are saying it's wrong. And everyone can argue their point. Everyone can argue their point, subhanallah. What should we do? Number one is, there's a few things, just to open up our minds of understanding. In English, they say that, you keep your friends close, but you keep your enemies closer. Keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. In 2019, I come from South Africa. Our South African brothers know. The Muslims in South Africa, it's the same democratic society. And because of the apartheid, we became very closed. So the Muslims in South Africa, if you decide to shake hands and you decide to, move out of the circles of the Muslims and, have these sorts of the discussions and communications and stuff like that, it's highly frowned upon. It's a very, very conservative society. Very reclusive in terms of their mind and thinking. So we come from that background. So we understand the merits of where our brothers and sisters are coming from, the objection. But I understood the importance of these good communications and did good relationships outside of our space. In 2019, Ramadan, I was invited by the NZ Police Department in Henderson for an iftar. And I agreed and we went. It was post the March 15 event that took place. And as we entered, there were heaps of people there. And amongst the group, there were people who were not from the Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, who were people from the Qadiani sect and the people from the Shiite sect. So the time of Maghrib Salah came, and some people who were pushing and ushering one or two of those people forward for the Salah. And when that happened and that took place, the police intervened and they stopped it and they said, we have our Imam. There's our Imam, he will lead the Salah. At that time, I understood and I realized the importance of these external relationships. Had I not been there, may Allah keep us on haqq and Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, then there would have been somebody from a different sect who is going to represent the Muslims in their Salah, because to the outside world, they all garb in the same garb, Muslims. Internally, we know who is Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah and who's not Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. I understood then, my mind opened up by the importance of these external relationships. Now our brothers are telling us very categorically, yes, we made a mistake. Yes, we did not communicate and we did not consult everything. They said it to us in the meeting and they said it to the collective ulama as well. But they're also saying that there is a reason for us being there. And they're giving us that reason. Again, I'm not saying I support it. Don't read into me, because it's not somebody will come and say, yeah, you Sheikh, now he'll pass the message on, Sheikh Shakir is supporting. So we're not even discussing the merits and demerits of the accord. What are about their actions? What do we learn from the deen? See, our deen teaches us to be pure and clean. Pure and clean. I said, الدين والنصيحة إن يكو كاذبا فعليه كذبه وإن يكو صادقا يصبكم بعد الذي يعدكم. The person who took the shahada from the camp of Fir'aun, he said to Fir'aun and his people, listen, you know what? If he's a liar, then his lie will come back to bite him. And if he's truthful, then whatever he's promising you is going to come true to you. So none of us know whether it's right or wrong. Or those who say it's wrong think it's wrong. Those who are saying it's right think it's right. إِيَّكُ كَاذِبًا فَعَلَيْهِ كَذِبُ. If he's wrong, then the wrong will come back to bite. If it's right, then we'll see the effects of that later on. Only time will tell. Only time will tell whether it was the right way or the wrong way. And may Allah Ta'ala grant khair to the ummah. See, the important thing is, two things will end up for this year. Is that, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اجْتَنِبُوا كَثِيرًا مِنَ الظَّنِّ إِنَّ بَعْضَ الظَّنِّ إِثْمٌ. We must learn to have a good thought for our Muslim brothers. This is something we need to work on actively. Always look for goodness in the next person, even if outwardly it seems to be wrong. We have seen posts and we have seen the communications that have taken these brothers who have entered into this accord onto the borders of shirk. They have taken these brothers onto the border of kufr. Have we stooped to that level and we have publicly lambasting our brothers? What guarantee do we have of our own iman? It's easy to sit back behind a keyboard and type and using words like BS and all of this funny words. Subhanallah. Husnul Dhann. There was a person in the time of Sayyidina Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. It's a long story. He said that many things he said. One thing he said was, he said, "Uhibbul fitan. I like fitna." And he said, "I don't fear Allah, and I don't want Jannah." Those kinds of statements he was making. Statements which are outwardly like, whoa, what's going on? This man is a kafir automatically by default. Sadaqallah, give him a stamp of kufr. Khalas. They went to the scholars of the time, and the scholars were also confused. They said, this man, his amr is mushkil. So they went to Imam Abu Hanifa, who was a visionary. And he said that this brother, he's playing with his words. When he said that I like fitna, means he said, I like my wife, my wealth and my children. Because Allah says, إِنَّمَا أَمْوَالُكُمْ وَأَوْلَادُكُمْ fitna. Your wealth and your children are fitna. So he says, I like fitna. When he says, أَكُلُ الْمَيْتَ, I eat carrion. Mayta means dead animals. So now everyone's like, how can you eat dead meat? Astaghfirullah al-azim. Forget the chicken, but this guy is eating dead animals. Imam Abu Hanifa said, Mayta refers to حِلَّ لَنَا الْمَيْتَتَانِ وَالدَّمَانِ. Fish and locusts, these are made halal for us. Rasulullah termed it as Mayta. See how he took. When he said, I don't want Jannah, who doesn't want Jannah? He said, because the man doesn't want Jannah, he wants Allah directly, which is better than Jannah. We were once upon a time there, but because we were living in a democratic country, we have become down. That's the one. And one last one we'll end up with, inshallah. Hatib ibn Abi Balta'a, please forgive me, my time is going today. Hatib ibn Abi Balta'a radiallahu anhu was a very senior Sahabi. And when the time of the conquest of Mecca came, he wrote a letter and he exposed the plan of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now anybody sitting here knows that this is an act of nifaq, in the least. Apostasy possible. Kufr possible. Nifaq is the least. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was informed through wahi. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Sayyidina Ali, Miqdad and Zubair, and said, go and intercept the lady who's carrying the letter. When he came back, Umar radiallahu anhu was ready. أضرب أنق هذا المنافق. Rasulullah, give me the word, I'll take his head out. Immediately. This is an act of open nifaq, and this is kufr. It means he turned away from the deen, he forsaked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba, he's trying to foil their plans, and he's exposing everything. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, now this is where the leadership is supposed to come in. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, hold on, Hatib, what's the matter, bhai? Why you did that? He said, Ya Rasulullah, please forgive me. I haven't done this here out of kufr or out of nifaq, or in forsaking Allah and His Nabi. My human weakness was, he made an error in his judgment. His human weakness, we could argue that, weakness of his iman as well. It's possible, the argument can stand. My human weakness was, I felt that, all of these other muhajirin here in Medina, they have some family back. So if things go wrong for us, at least somebody can look after them. But I have got nothing. So I thought that if I have an upper hand on the Quraysh of Makkah, the mushrikeen of Makkah, perhaps they'll look at me favorably if something goes wrong. So that's why he decided to expose the plans of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Said Umar again, Ya Rasulullah, give me the hukam, I'll take out his head. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, hold on Umar, relax. He made one mistake, yes. It's almost on the borders of kufr, yes. But look at his contributions before this, brother. The man participated in Badr. The man participated in Badr. And Allah said that those who are the participants of Badr, Allah has forgiven them already. So he made a mistake, he is apologizing for his mistake, he acknowledges his mistake. Who are we not to accept his apology? And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam spared him. Subhanallah. Yes, they made a mistake. They said they made a mistake in their communication. Whether the accord itself, that's a different issue. But give them the benefit of the doubt at least. The work that they have been doing, the work they are currently doing, perhaps nobody else will be able to do. The advocacy that the brothers have said to me themselves, Maulana, do you think that we will forsake our brothers in Gaza? Yes, outwardly it looked like they sat on the table with the Zionist party. But we don't have the wisdom to see. Again, don't overread what I'm saying. Maybe you say, Shaykh is supporting. I don't support it. But give them the benefit of the doubt. They are giving, and they are telling us something. Who are we to judge? Who are we to lambast? Who are we to bring them down to the ground? May Allah Ta'ala forgive us all, brothers. These are just some of my thoughts. I'll just leave you with this here. I know, and I've said this to some of my close friends as well. Many of us feel very passionate about these things. So then we must be like the Sahaba. If you're so passionate and if we are so serious about it, then we have to put it where it really matters. It must come back to hurt us. We are sitting behind the keyboards and we are writing long messages. But we have to be able to, our struggle must be in a place that we have something to lose in. Sahaba, they left Makkah, they lost their homes. They lost their wealth. They lost their families. They lost everything. See, so our advocacy is not just sitting behind our phones and typing messages and say it's freedom of speech. It must be something that can come back to hurt us. It must be something that we are prepared to sacrifice. See, like some of the non-Muslims who are making advocacy for Gaza, they are jumping on a flotilla. And you know, if you go flotilla, it's like, Assalamu alaikum, we don't know, you might be shot down to the ground. You will be deported. Your visa will be cancelled. You don't know if you're going to get your citizenship. All of these things. Now we are saying that, okay, you know what, this is going to matter. My sacrifice is tangible. So let us not be caught in the web of the devil. In the false face of democracy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all. May Allah ta'ala reward everybody for their good intentions. Again, inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. We must be worried about our own akhirat. Everybody must be worried about their own akhirat. Subhanallah bihamdi, subhanakallah bihamdi.